Hello, welcome to this lesson where we're going to look at different types of frequency displays. Now, frequency tables and frequency histograms, and we'll also learn about frequency polygons, are just different ways of representing our data. And we want to use these so that we can find different shapes and things that are happening in our data. First, we're going to do our frequency table. And this one is the easiest of all of the things we're going to look at in this lesson. So firstly, the question that we're answering is asking us to make a frequency table, frequency histogram and polygon using this data, which is the number of pets that people in our class have. Now with a frequency table, the first column is going to be the thing that we're measuring. So it's going to be the number of pets. The next column is just going to be a tally. And then finally, we have our total. Now it's important that you know what goes in each column because you'll have to make these yourselves. Now, down here, we put all possible values. And I'm going to start at 0 and it goes all the way to 5. So we have 0 through 5. Okay. Next, we're going to just tally as we go through our values. It's a very easy way to get to our total. So we start 0, 1, 5, 4, 3 zeros, 2 ones, okay, so we finished our tally. If you haven't tallied before, which I think you probably have, when we get to 5, we need to put a line through. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then cross through it to say 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, cross through it to say 10. So every multiple of 5, we're going to do a line through this. It just helps us represent it easily and understand in groups of 5, really quickly get the information. Our total, we then just write the total number for each that we have. And we're going to end up with that. There's our finished frequency table. Next, we're looking at a frequency histogram, and this is like a frequency, a column graph, but there are some key differences, and we want to make sure that we really understand what we're doing here. So what we're going to do is first we're going to put our titles on. So our title here is number of pets in our class. Okay. So we've got our title at the top, then we want a title on each of our axes. So on this one is going to be the number of pets. So it's going to be, is going to be the frequency. So we put frequency here. Note how it's called a frequency histogram, frequency table, that's what we're measuring, the frequency of each of these things happening. Down the bottom, we're going to put the number of pets. Okay, so now we are going to put in our values along here. And notice I've already put in these spots, but they need to be equally spaced and we don't want to skip any values. So I'm going to start with 0, and I'm not going to put my 0 here, I'm going to put it under my first value because 0 is something I'm measuring. So 0 is not here, it starts there. And we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up here is the frequencies, so we can go up to a total of 5. And we're going to start with our 0 here. So this here starts at 0, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 5. Now I can actually draw my frequency histogram. Again, it's like a column graph, but a bit different. Each of these lines here represents the middle of the column that I'm going to put in. And the columns need to touch in a frequency histogram. So we're going to look at 0, and 0 has 5. So I'm going to go up here, and from halfway through this column to halfway through here, I'm going to put a line. So I'm going to put a line like this. That's at my 0. And I'm going to complete that all the way down. So it's going to look something like that. Now you should use a ruler when you're doing this. Just for this case, I won't be. Also with 1, we're at 5. So we're going to continue this row, this line, and we're going to go down again. Now for 2, we have 4, so we go across, and again to the middle of the 2 column. 3, we have nothing, so we're just going to leave that there. And then 4, we have 1, and 5 we have 1. So we need to go to the other side of the 5 like this. Okay, so now we've made our frequency histogram. Next, we want to make a frequency polygon. And I'm going to use a different color just so we can tell the difference between them. So this is our frequency histogram here. Now we're going to make a frequency polygon. Frequency histograms and polygons often go on the same chart. And note that it's a polygon. So a polygon is going to be a closed shape. So what we're doing is we're going to go, starting at this point here, we always start at the bottom. We should always have a gap before we get to our first value. We're going to put a dot in the middle of each of our columns. So this is essentially where the number here adds up to. And our graph for our polygon should go along to 6, and I'm going to put a little dot there for 6. In this case it's a bit squished, but when we're drawing it properly we need to make sure we have that there. Now we just need to join our dots. So we're going to join there, go along. And these should be straight lines. You should use a ruler. Again, a ruler won't work on this board. So we're going to get a shape something like that. And remember, it's a polygon. It's going to touch here and it's going to touch here. And then it's a closed shape or closed polygon. And that there is our frequency polygon. So here we have a frequency histogram, the thing underneath. The polygon is this shape, and that would also have the same titles and values there if you weren't doing a frequency histogram underneath. And then our frequency table. Please let me know if you have any questions. We'll continue looking at these in class. Thank you.